With the Cayo Perico Heist releasing in less than 2 weeks, there's 2 questions I'm being asked the most. How much do I need, and is my modded account money enough to buy everything in the DLC? To the last question, I say buy a better joke book with your modded money. And to the first question, the answer is a little bit longer. First up, if you're not subscribed yet, make sure to do so for much more Cayo Perico Heist guides, tips, tricks, and much more coming your way on December 15th and beyond. Also, give me a follow on Twitch while you're at it. Plenty of heisting going on there too. Let's begin. Looking back at the last Heist DLC, the Casino Heist, we can get a pretty good idea of what to expect for the next Heist DLC. In order to access the Casino Heist, you have to buy an arcade, and luckily for us, you didn't have to spend more than 2 million in order to do so, which is about in the same ballpark as all the other properties in the game. However, this doesn't include all the upgrades that could potentially be in the new property. Especially if it's going to be the submarine, where they have highlighted all the new missiles and whatnot that you can add to it. So if you want to be sure and you want to have the bare minimum to play the heist itself, then you'll need about $5 million. If you want to be a little bit more comfortable, then 10 million will be a good ballpark. And if you want to be absolutely certain that you don't have to worry on release day and just buy a variety of cars and equipment, then 20 million will definitely be the best place to be. Of course, if you don't have this money, then I will give you a couple of quick tips and tricks on how you can get there. By far the quickest and easiest way to make some quick money is selling the vehicles that you don't use anymore. Say for example you have an F1 car like I have, the R88, and you never really use it anymore, or you happen to have one at the wheel by suddenly disconnecting about 20 times whenever you get clothing again. If that's you, then you should definitely sell the old one you have. You'd be surprised with how much vehicles you have sitting there collecting dust in your garage and how much money you can make with it. Like with my R88, $2 million in the pocket, ease claps. When you've done that, it's time to start making some real money. First and foremost, it's important to understand what you have. If you have one or more businesses, then check how much stock it has and see if you can do a sale. In my case, I had my funny plants business full and there was another $250,000 waiting for me, as well as my bunker was getting near completion. If you don't have any businesses, then by all means do not. And I really mean do not buy any. It's going to cost you millions and it's very unlikely that you're going to make it back in time. Unless you want to have your console on 24/7 and do nothing but sniffing G Fuel, hoping that you can get that money back in time. Having said this, if you have the money for an arcade, which is $1.9 million, and you can spare yourself playing a casino house for 1 or 2 hours every day, or every other day, whatever you prefer, then you should be swimming in money pretty quickly. Reason being is that if you've done this effectively, you can make around $1 million or more in an hour or 2. If you need guides for them, I have an eye in the top right of your screen that will give you a playlist for every single approach. Do make sure though to check out the 2020 versions of the Casino Heist guides for the latest strategies for the quickest completions. You'll skip over a lot of things that you don't need to play. And if you need someone to do Casino Heist with, then by all means feel free to use the comments below to find yourself someone to play with. Because you can do all the setup missions solo, but for the finale, you possibly want to get someone competent. If you have businesses and the arcade for the Casino Heist, then you don't really have much to worry about. The way I would personally go about it is to have your bunker run in the background and do a sale every 2 hours and 20 minutes while you do a Casino Heist or 2. If you're someone who also wants to suffer through MC business sales, then you could decide to have those running as well, but personally I would just stick to bunker to save your sanity. If you've done this effectively, then you should be able to do a bunker sale while you're on your second heist setup. Even if you don't have a bunker, Casino Heist really is a really solid way of making money. Also, if you have that $5 million already that I mentioned before, you could also just simply decide to just buy into the new heist and make your money that way. Hell, it might even be more fun. It's a heist after all, and in this new heist, you'll also be able to play it solo. So if you have trouble with finding someone to play with, then that might be an option too. At the end of the day, I think most people just want to play the new heist, especially because it's solo and you don't have to worry about playing with randoms. Trust me on this one, I speak from experience. Heisting with randoms is quite tragic. Or what you could also do if you don't have any of the businesses, or you don't have enough money, or you simply don't feel like spending money at all until the next DLC, you could also make use of the triple money opportunity that is going on in the coming week, which is King of the Hill. Yes, it's PvP, but if you manage to win a normal King of the Hill, then you could walk away with up to $116,000. Even the team modes are still pretty decent money. Obviously, this will all come down to the player amount and the time you're spent playing the match, but overall, if you're someone who enjoys the mode or needs a different way of making money than businesses or heist, then King of the Hill is an excellent way of making money while it's still triple cash. Luckily for those who are unfamiliar with the mode, I do have some quick tips for you on how you can have a better chance of winning the normal King of the Hill matches, although these strategies can also apply to the team variants as well. Let's start off by showing you where you can expect enemies spawning from on the maps, excluding Legion Square and the desert map, because you should definitely avoid those maps. They are messy and they're not that fun. First up, some general tips. You never want to be in the actual capture point itself after capturing it. Rather, you should find a position where you can defend it way more effectively. And always try to stick to the A and the C capture points, as they are typically the easiest to defend. And also, most importantly, always pick up the special carbine on the map when it's available. Even then, the starting weapons are never really that great, so always try to find a more powerful weapon, preferably an assault rifle or something that's at least more accurate than what you're currently holding in your hands. Also, probably the most important thing of all, make sure to pick up ammo from dead bodies so you never run out. If you're, for example, using your special carbine and you kill someone with a machine pistol, that machine pistol ammo will also be able to be used for your special carbine. A very handy trick, you'll never run out of ammo. Now let's have a look at the individual maps to try and help you win those normal King of the Hill matches. First up is Chamberlain Hills. At the C flag you have to be careful for the people that are coming from the higher up location. And at the A flag you're pretty exposed and out of the open, but there is body armor behind you at all times for some extra health. The B flag is probably the easiest one to defend, because you can go up the stairs and find a higher position where people typically don't really expect you to be. Generally speaking, if you are there, people are expecting you to be behind the crates. For Sawmill, A is probably the easiest one to defend, because C has this problem where there's multiple spawn points from the higher up position and people can get the drop on you fairly easily. For Beach, C is definitely the easiest one to defend here, mainly because of the prop in the middle of the spawn point. Running around it for cover is a very big help. The A capture point has a major flaw that there's a constant spawn point right in front of it, and it's typically just going to get you killed as soon as someone spawns there. At B, you're most likely constantly going to be surrounded, so you probably don't want to stick around there. For Rancho Projects, the C is the easiest once again, primarily because of the cover that you get from the spawn points, and A, while possible too, you will still have two spawn points that are fairly out in the open and you can be picked off pretty easily, especially if you're on assisted aim. And for the train yard, again, C is going to be the easiest one, because A is a little bit cluttered with all the trains and all the trees that are in the way, and it can make a headshot pretty difficult to hit, and especially body shots, if you're someone who typically goes for that, it can be a little bit of a trouble. You could try and also get on the roof, but there's a spawn point near the alley, so it might not be worth the risk. A strategy I personally like to use as well is to try to get the advantage and then just stick to one capture point. That way you can keep a steady lead, but if you're behind, then it's worth to try to get a second capture point, because even if you lose it after a couple of seconds, you will have gained a couple of extra valuable points. Rise and repeat this until you have the lead again, and you can go back to just simply defending one capture point. Other than that, it really just comes down to how good you are at taking down enemies and holding your position. Best of luck, because King of the Hill can be a very intense and fun mode if you're in a good lobby. Or you can also just waltz over rank 12s, that's possible too. But you know we're also kings and queens of the hill? My lovely members, of course. Join them by becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. With all that said, with all done, that was it for this one. Again, make sure to subscribe for more Cayo Perico Heist, and give me a follow on Twitch as well to see all the heisting unfold on the December 15th and beyond. Thank you also very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.